quickly becoming the streaming home for heady sci-fi shows like Severance and Silo, Apple TV Plus has another one in Blake Crouch's Dark Matter. This is adapted from his book. He also helped create the TV version, and he's the showrunner. So he's got his fingerprints all over this. So if you like the book, you may enjoy this show. Let's talk about Apple TV Plus's Dark Matter. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for Dark Matter. This is on Apple TV Plus. Season 1 is streaming right now with 9 episodes for that, but Season 2 already in the works. That has been approved a few months ago, and so hopefully later this year we will get Season 2 of that. And I'm not sure if the novel is Season 1, like does Season 1 end where the book ends? I didn't read the book, so I don't know. But because Blake Crouch is the showrunner, obviously if it doesn't, he will come up with some fresh ideas, hopefully, for Season 2 to move that plot forward. Or, maybe this doesn't end where the book ends, and we'll see more of that. But either way, you can check out the first 9 episodes for this show right now as part of Season 1. All right, before we launch into the specifics of the show, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my Dan Reviews It subscribers already, thank you so much for returning. Love having you guys come back to check out my videos. But if you're not, please consider subscribing down below and click that notification bell too so you get the alerts for all my video drops. And this is featuring Joel Edgerton, who stars as a physicist and professor who unwillingly travels between alternate realities after being abducted by this gets a little bit into spoiler territory, I guess, but it is all in episode 1, and it's kind of the premise. He gets abducted by his counterpart, who is known as Jason number 2. He is Jason number 1, of course. Jennifer Connelly plays his wife, and Alice Braga, no stranger to the sci-fi universe. She kind of made her stake in some sci-fi movies like Elysium and I Am Legend. But she is Jason number 2's partner and girlfriend, who tries to help Jason number 1 find his way back home. And he is really in a fight to return his life, to return to his life, I should say, to prevent his new version, the alternate Jason, from taking over. So yes, like I mentioned up top, like Silo, like Severance, Apple TV Plus has been really gravitating towards these very, very heavy think piece sci-fi shows, and this one is no different. I have to imagine I would get lost if I probably read the book for this. Sci-fi books sometimes go over my head. I like a visual component, so I think the TV version is probably a little more palatable to me than the book might be. But in any event, I think it is always a good sign. Maybe not always, but a lot, 90% maybe of the time, when the author of the book is so heavily involved with the TV version or the film version or whatever of their work, because they know these characters better than anybody. They've created them. They know, what they think. They know what they would say. And so having him not only create this for Apple TV as a show, but being the showrunner and one of the executive producers means that his vision is, really, really coming across on the screen. Now, I think that there's a few problems with this particular show, though, even though, it does have his singular vision, and I can appreciate that. I actually think it moves a little bit slowly. This is 9 episodes, and a lot of times, I say this on the show often, that just because we have kind of unlimited, space or whatever on these streamers, and they want to generate this content, not everything needs to be, 8, 9, 10 episodes long. We could have a nice 5 or 6 episode run for a book adaptation. When I think of some of the great books that have been adapted into movies, the movies are only like 2.5, maybe 3 hours. In recent years, Gone Girl, I think, is a great example of that. Yeah, Gone Girl could have been a TV show for sure, and lasted, 6, 8 episodes. But do we need that? I don't know. And here, I think we have a similar problem. Most of episode 1 is just sort of in Jason number 1's, the original Jason, in his life, with his family and with his work and all of that. We don't really find out that what the premise of the show even is until the last couple of minutes of episode 1. I think we probably could have fast tracked that a little bit, right? And so as a result, I do think that this is a little slow going. Now, as a book, of course, you have unlimited number of pages, whatever you want as the author to flesh everything out and whatever. And that's fine. And it does establish pretty well in episode 1. It establishes this world that he is living in. But when the premise of the show is largely based around that alternate universe version, and sort of the sliding doors of it all a little bit, I think we need to maybe get to that a little bit quicker. And even once we establish that in episodes 2 and 3, I think it's still a little bit slow moving, to be honest. But that being said, I think Joel Edgerton is an underrated actor. I think people that, like his work are all, yeah, he's awesome, but he doesn't really get talked about. I never really hear him come up in conversations as, versatile actors, that can do a lot of different things and do all of them pretty well. And we've seen him do other things than act, too. I believe he's directed a couple of the movies he's starred in, but he's really great here. And I think him and both of the female leads, in both sort of timelines, he works well with them. Him and Jennifer Connelly, you do believe that they're this established couple that has been around a while. But then in version 2, you also kind of believe that him and the Alice Braga character have a history as well. And so this is a show that certainly, like Silo and like Severance, I think these are the sort of top tier sci-fi shows on Apple TV Plus, which is why I keep mentioning them. But there are others in the Apple arsenal that fall, to this genre, I think, of the kind of think piece sci-fi shows. This one is not to that height for sure. Silo and Severance, I think, are the A tier, of it. I think, though, this is one that, like those shows, rewards people for paying attention to specific character developments and character tics, and even just a line here or there, or something in the background. This really rewards the viewer for paying close attention to everything that is going on, and I think you almost need to, because it is so heady. So look, like I mentioned, overall this is not as good sort of as those top tier Apple TV Plus sci-fi shows, but it is at least, I think, in the same ballpark, and maybe better than some other ones that have graced us. We'll see what season 2 brings later on in 2025, I guess. But for now, I will leave Dark Matter with a B, and you can check out the first 9 episodes on Apple TV Plus right now. All right, thank you so much for watching Dave Reviews, and I'll see you next time.